Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Jack's Business Talk. Today, we're going to try to go for a hat trick potentially and have Mikey on after he's been absent for a while.
Thanks for having me back.
Oh, it's always a pleasure having you back. So Mikey asked a question and he wanted me to sit back and reflect on some questions about the YouTube channel. And if you guys haven't heard of Jack's Business Talk, that's what we're talking about today. I'm not exactly sure how you're watching this video. So
If you stumbled upon this, please like and subscribe, comment. But I was interested in the evolution of your YouTube channel because I remember it starting out, and now we are just talking about the Thursday meetings where you post the recaps of that on the channel,
mhm.
being a part of school, being a host. We were talking about how it started off with only a couple people in those meetings. But
Yeah,
just yeah, just this past Thursday. Oh,
and the one big thing about the channel, so like you know how like your first 20 subscribers are just friends and family and blah blah blah. I built this channel up. Like this is probably the one thing I'm very proud of. I never told anyone. I didn't want my friends and family knowing about this channel because like they're like not so much my friends, but like a lot of my family, they're leeches. I don't want them knowing about the properties. I I try to hide everything from them in a lot of aspects. So hey, if I'm related to you and you see this video by chance, I don't own anything.
we don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
We're talking about owning tomatoes right now, and then now log off.
Yeah. But yeah, so th this whole channel, it's kind of really surprised me because what last February, I was just trying to get to 50 subscribers back in February or before February. It might have been like a month or two before February. And Dion challenged me to get to 100 subscribers. He's like, well, if you could do 50, you only want it for the lives, why don't you do 100? So I kept working at it and I got to 100. I think we're like 150-ish, 160-ish right now, which it's the summer. I'm not going to pull as many. But the one thing that's really surprised me is the fact that I'm, you know, the channel's small, especially in the ORAC community. Like, you're talking about a lot of heavy hitters and stuff in there. But I'm kind of seeing that I'm being taken more seriously. And there's a lot of people that have come on my channel that really, honestly, probably in their best interest should have said no. And like, Beth Traverso being one of them. Like she has a lot of stuff going on. She's way bigger than I am. You know, I, I, w- I was surprised she said yes when I reached out. You know, Simon the Uneducated Economist was another one. It kind of blew my mind that he said yes.
But all those interviews were great,
Yeah.
and just reaching out, that took a lot of guts, but it worked out in your favor
I,
in the
I
end.
I just figured what's the worst that would happen? They'll say no. You'll never get the pretty girl at the bar if you don't go up and ask.
The one highlight I took from Simon's interview was your coworker. You told that
Yeah.
story about your coworker watching UE's content and you watching it too, saying, "Hey, I know exactly what channel you're talking about." And just having Simon's reaction to that, that was really insightful.
My favorite part of the interview, it was when I was reminding him about the challenge that he told me to take up in Vegas and telling him about it and how I'm starting to see different things and the pieces moving. And he was actually excited and proud. He's just like, yeah, he's like, and once you start seeing it, he's like, you won't stop seeing it.
But as I'm watching your channel, all the exploration you're doing with it, because you're doing different thumbnails, you're doing live streams, you're doing meetings, you're doing recorded content. I'm even seeing shorts on
Hmm.
multiple social media platforms. You're changing titles and just tweaking things, seeing what works, what doesn't, what you enjoy, and the end result is it
It's
becomes
this channel will never be huge, okay? Like it's not going to be like, one rental at a time, Michael Zuber's channel. I never see my channel hitting like the 50, the 60. I don't even know if this channel will actually ever hit 1,000 people. But what I do see is it being such a deep and rich community where people are going to come here and reach out and talk to it might be the 450 or 500 people that watch this channel and this content and be able to find an answer. You know, my goal is to become the person. I want to do like a cross of Millennial Mike and Meet Kevin, if that makes sense. Okay. So like I want to be able to go in and be like, hey guys, of course I'm not as energetic as either one of those guys, but like I want to be the guy that's like, hey guys, today we're doing blah 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 blah. I'm talking about early Meet Kevin, where he used to take you on job sites and be like, we're doing this and this is how we're doing this, and blah 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 blah. The cross of that, especially with the handyman and the landscaping business, and potentially a real estate license coming in the future, a cross of that with Millennial Mike, where he was doing all these videos about Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. You search Gary, Indiana, you're going to find a Millennial Mike doing that with the Pittsburgh market. So my face will be plastered and become the king of Pittsburgh.
and all the lenders you've had, all the realtors you've had, now contractors too, that you can get advice as you're starting your business.
Hmm.
I remember even the conversations we had in the beginning when we first met. I remember that first phone call we had talking about our portfolios, where we were at. You had mentioned the lender you're working with. We were getting an idea of who we were, but now doing video and video with each other. We've never met in person, but we'll soon. It was like now we become friends off of that. So
Isn't it hard to believe that we haven't met in person?
that missing Vegas was such a buzzkill for me. Oh man.
That's what you get for trying to be healthy.
Exactly. Why? Throughout throughout the history of your channel, are there any things that stand out that you take away that have really impacted how you invest now?
I think it's caused me to slow down and actually sometimes when I go back to re-edit these videos and sometimes I'll actually watch an older video to see kind of what I said. And the thing that blows my mind is especially if you watch some of the like the earliest videos, okay?
Yeah.
So the business channel actually came out first before the outdoor channel. And I didn't put very many videos on the business one just because I was running the landscaping business at the time and I figured it wasn't going anywhere. So I eventually stopped the channel and I focused on the outdoor channel. And the outdoor channel was picking up momentum and stuff, but never really took off. And I just got tired of editing the videos. That's why that channel just kind of died. I mean, it's still up, but like I haven't posted anything on it in at least 2 or 3 years. But then, just out of coincidence, I remembered the password and stuff. I was like, I'm doing rentals now. I'm doing this. I just started posting. I started talking, and but like having a channel flop, but like getting used to being in front of the camera. So many people have told me they're like I can't believe you're so calm and just you're so natural in front of the camera. It's like, well, when I was out in the woods and stuff, I wanted to share the woods with the people or like share the woods with someone. And a lot of times I'm just by myself, like I'm not saying it's boring, but you're not sharing it with anyone, which is kind of like half the fun of doing it. And that's kind of the way I'm treating the business channel is I get to take these people on a ride with me the roller coasters, and like I don't sugarcoat things. Like, I show the good and the bad and stuff because yeah, like some of it is clearly my own fault, and in retrospect, I should have been able to predict some of the stuff very clearly, but it's just you get so wrapped up into being busy and trying to move, the goalpost that you just look over simple things.
There's even that one YouTube creator who says it actually doubles your time. So if anyone new is reaching out asking for information, a lot of the times I tell people you should check out Jack's Business Talk. If there's any Pittsburgh investors who want to get started, I said check out Jack's Business Talk because a lot of the stuff we've covered will help you, and
Yeah.
it saves us time, and that way we can see if they're serious. It's like, yeah, I've watched a lot of the videos. I've watched a lot of financial firefighter videos. I have more questions. Can we talk? I'm sure. Let's hop on the phone. If
Hmm.
you take the time to catch up and kind of understand these things, I'll help you, no problem.
Well, that's why recently I've been doing a series with Dylan. I don't know if you've seen it or not, where like when I first started investing, I didn't do the buy blocks. I didn't know what a buy box was. I'd never heard of ORAD at that point. I was watching bigger pockets. I wasn't making too many mistakes. I was still making mistakes and stumbling, figuring things out. But the thing is, so we have a lot of out of state investors who are trying to buy their first property. So I'm taking a step back, and with Dylan Petrojohn, who I can't think of his channel off the top of my head, but I've been working with him, and we're slowly setting up a buy box because at some point I do plan on semi-switching markets. I'm not saying I'm leaving Pittsburgh forever. No,
Mhm.
it's just I I'm never going to be done with Pittsburgh, but how I invest in Pittsburgh might change because where he's at, you can buy bigger multifamilies that I don't have access to here in Pittsburgh. So that's why I was thinking about making a switch at some point at least after financial independence, into a different market. You could see how to establish the rent your rent box, your buy box. I have a video up about him, like he's going through, and I have him because it'd be a commercial stuff, and I'm used to working with residential. I literally have him coming in and just tearing my Excel spreadsheets apart.
And for commercial underwriting, it's so different from what I know. So
Hmm.
when I've seen videos, you guys talking about underwriting, I appreciate that because I know Cody Davis likes to talk about cap rate is more important for commercial investing, but I still don't understand. So it's good to see you guys talk about it.
I don't fully understand it 100%, and that was the one thing I was talking to Dylan about is do I have to use cap rate? And he said, no, I can still use yield, but it impacts and changes how you need to look at things. And I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the whole thing myself. So you're watching me struggle through this.
Mm. And as you're going through things, that's pretty much what it shows. It's just that we're humans and we're we're trying to do this week by week, and things are things are growing on us, and we're pivoting at times. But this is honestly the life of an investor.
I got an awesome video coming up here soon. I have to try and find it, but it's supposed to go up this week, and I just remembered what it was. I had another big guest that's coming on, but I'm again another one I'm surprised he said yes to. But it's Brandon. I forget his channel because he just changed the name of it. And even in the video, I called Bill to rent at least 3 times. He's like, no, it's this. And he catch me apologizing a couple times, but I keep calling it Bill to well.
It's that I'm looking forward to that interview.
It turned out I knew it was going to be a good video because the video topic is the title is going to be Builders versus Betterers. And I explained where I came up with the topic. I was listening to an Alex Hormozy video. I was like, I can't remember what context he was talking about, but he kept saying builders and betters, builders and betters. And I took what he was saying, applied to real estate. I was like, I need Brandon on this one. I was just like, because he's a builder, I'm a betterer, I do value add. Let's cut a video. He said, yeah.
Betterer. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so we go over a lot of the pros and cons of that kind of each top strategy.
But congrats, because from where you started, where it was me, you, and Mark on the Thursday meetings, to now the
Yeah,
last one was what, over 15, maybe 12, 15 people?
we average 12 to 15. We've hit in the 20s a couple times. And it's funny because like the first few videos, especially like when they went on the longer side, it was so overwhelming for me to kind of keep track of what people are saying and being interactive. And like I felt dead at the end of them. And now I can sit there and be just as I feel like just as sharp at the end of the video as I am in the beginning, and then get off and still keep going. So
These
it's just
reps,
yeah, it's just the reps and like I don't know what stamina that is you're building up.
the reps are important because I see it outwardly in other things I'm doing. And I appreciate you having me on and getting to practice this out, even on Frank's Old Guy REI's channel and Financial Firefighters channel, get to practice speaking in front of a camera because it is different the first time you do it to maybe the 20th, 30th time you do it.
Hmm. And Frank is another one I'm surprised that he always says yes to. He's never said no. He just comes on, we talk. I
And
love that last thumbnail though with Frank. You know what the crazy thing is? So I told the AI to make the thumbnail kind of what I was thinking about. I was like, here's a picture of me, here's a picture of Frank. Put us at a coffee table drinking coffee. And I was trying to get through to its head. I was like, Frank's taller than me by like almost a foot. Because he's like what, 6'4", six.
yeah, he's a
Yeah, and
giant.
I'm like 5'9", 5'10". So I was like, you have to make him taller than me. And they kept making me taller. It's just like, no, make this guy taller.
One of the meetings you had, there was another investor saying that we all look to Frank as a father figure in the group.
Hmm.
That was one of the better statements I heard, because that is true in a way.
Yeah, yeah. I think I even titled it something like that too. Yeah, it's crazy to think about how this channel's come because it hasn't even really been rolling. I probably only coming up on like maybe a year now. Well, this was a good reflection. So until next time, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Jack's Business Talk.